Good morning, everybody. Just a little bit about the Saturday morning hustle. What does that mean? So, I'm on this journey for entrepreneurship, and that's really what this channel is all about. Talking about that journey and the journey to entrepreneurship. It's not really a destination. It is a journey because really is, in my opinion, never an end to it. It's something that you continue to build upon as you continue to develop your skills, grow your businesses, find opportunities. So entrepreneurship is a lifelong dream and opportunity. So really, what I'm doing today is part of that journey. One of my companies that I own, actually I'm a partnership with, is Hawk Rock Construction. So the reason for starting this company was I do some house flipping, and I also own some apartment buildings or apartments. And I found that some of the construction companies I was working with, some of the general contractors, I had an opportunity to be able to do some of what they were doing, develop those relationships with subcontractors, with the businesses and things that they were using to get better deals, better discounts, higher quality labor at better prices. So basically, what I did was cut out the middleman of hiring a general contractor and replacing that with a business that I have interest in. So this morning, what I'm doing right now is actually some work for that business that I have some interest in. I got a call yesterday morning from one of our commercial clients that one of their locations has a broken chair, and it's in the medical field, this client, and this chair is used on a daily basis, a number of times every day. And it can become a liability if there's a client in the chair and something happens. So they had asked us to come out, drive down to one of their locations, about an hour away from my house, pick up one of those chairs, and then bring it back to another one of the locations in Carlisle. So that is what I am doing right now. It's not the most glorious work. It's actually very easy. It's just a matter of driving to one location, picking something up, driving to another location, dropping it off, and then disposing of the broken one. And all of that's very easy. All of that's not difficult whatsoever. So I think what it comes down to is finding opportunities, to be able to do things that you're capable of doing. And this isn't for anybody. This is for a company that I own. It's not something that I've been employed to do by somebody else. So this is definitely an entrepreneurial adventure or venture that I'm on right now. So it's for work that I've been able to procure myself. And an entrepreneur, along those lines, as I start to think about that a little more, it could be anything from, if you have your own lawn care business, to your own snow removal business, to, painting, even an artist, bakery. And there's so many things when you look at the spectrum of entrepreneurship and being in business for yourself. I mean, there's digital, there's physical, there's manufacturing, there's so many different uh, quadrants or sects of opportunities or businesses that are out there that would be classified as an entrepreneurial journey. So I'm interested in understanding what your journey is, where you at right now as an entrepreneur. Are you on a journey? What are some of the things that are working out well for you? What are some of the things that you'd like to maybe improve upon? That maybe you're feeling stuck, maybe you're a little overwhelmed. I think we've all been there. I think one of the things that I get concerned with as an entrepreneur is really understanding what my maximum capacity is, because I've never hit it. I think it's the drive and determination that keeps me moving forward. And I've never felt like I'm maxed out. This is it. I'm not going to be able to do anything anymore. Like this is the most I'm ever going to be able to accomplish. I feel like when I get to those moments, or if I feel like I'm approaching it, I find other ways to minimize my my personal time and involvement, maybe by hiring somebody else, bringing somebody else in or just finding a more efficient way of getting things done that maybe I wasn't efficient before. So like I said, it's a journey. It's a constant, always reinventing yourself, always changing, always being organic and growing, making improvements, making tweaks to your processes as necessary to make yourself as efficient as possible. I never want to get to a point where I feel like I'm maxed out and there's nothing I can do. I feel like I want to be able to do everything, every opportunity that comes my way, be ready for it, be able to tackle it, and find out a way to make it work. That's really what I try to do. So this morning, one of our clients calling yesterday and asking us for this emergency move. It's not the most convenient thing. I'm in the middle of sanding my floors at my house. I had some hardwood floor installed. I need to sand it, uh, fill in the holes and the gaps, and refinish it. So I'd rather be doing that while I have the sander rental at my house for the weekend. So I want to try to get the 4 bedrooms done and the hallway upstairs by the end of the weekend, at least entirely sanded and prepped, ready for the staining process. So I could take the sander back on Monday and not have to worry about that extra couple of days of rental, because I don't know that I'll have time during the week next week to squeeze it in, but I will figure it out. It's not something I'm really worried about. So this morning, got up nice and early. It's about late now. I mean, it's about 9:57. I've been running around. I'm trying to get some things accomplished. So I ran out to the one of the apartment buildings, dropped off some garbage that I had picked up. Well, not garbage, it's demo, basically construction debris from one of my properties at Mandy Lane. It's a rehab I'm working on. I was there yesterday waiting for some cabinets to be delivered, and while I'm there, I just go ahead and pick things up, make sure it's a clean construction site, get all the dirt and trash and debris out of there. It's my contribution I can make, I guess, as the owner and investor in the property. I like the construction crews and my guys to have a clean workspace, and I don't want the garbage to pile up in the garage or outside, where um, at the end of the project I would have to get a huge dumpster to come in to haul all of it away, and not to mention it's in the way and it's an inconvenience for everybody throughout the duration of the project. So I like to get rid of that stuff as quickly as possible and keep the work sites clean. So anyway, I was there this morning. I was at the apartment building this morning dropping off the debris that I picked up yesterday. Also took a look at some screens that one of my tenants texted me about last night. I guess there's some tears in their screens, and the weather's starting to warm up now. So they'd like to get that corrected as quickly as possible so that they can enjoy the spring weather. I mean, today's not going to be a day that they're going to have the windows open. It's 35 degrees, but yesterday I think it was in the high 50s. So it's starting to feel a little bit like spring around here, thank goodness. So I took a look at those, took some photos. I think I know it's about 3 screens have small tears in them. So I'll go ahead and make arrangements to pick them up early next week, take them over to a hardware store or the window store to have them rescreened. I mean, I could rescreen them myself, save a couple of bucks probably, but I think this goes along the lines of what I just mentioned about trying to find things that make you more efficient. Outsource those things that you're not really good at. It'll take me probably 4 or 5 times as long to rescreen a screen than it will somebody that has all the materials and is professional, that rescreens screens all day, every day. I'd rather pay them the few extra bucks that's going to cost in their labor versus me spending an astronomical amount of my time, which, I'd like to think I'd be doing something a little bit more value add versus wasting, that 4 times more time rescreening, doing something that's going to make me another opportunity, maybe educate me, put me in a better position for another entrepreneurial option. What else could there possibly be out there? What could I be missing, or what else could I be doing that could be setting me up for something, setting me up for success, rather than rescreening a screen? I leave all that stuff to the professionals. So right now, just heading down to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, about an hour from my house. Pick up this medical chair, take it over to the other location, drop it off, and fortunately, the other location is between my house and this first location, so it's not going to take me out of my way even further to drop off the chair. It's actually going to be sending me back the direction I need to go anyway, which is perfect. So that works out very well. When I get there, the second location, there are some small maintenance things or repairs that might need to be done that I was told about yesterday. So I need to take a look at those. It might end up turning this whole trip into a road time of about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. By the time I get everything done, probably close to 3.5 hours. So that's why I wanted to get an early start this morning so I can get back to sanding the floors. I was up late last night sanding two of the bedrooms. I've sanded them, got two passes with the sander, with the floor sander and the hand sanders around the edges. So I need one more pass, I believe. I feel that I think we're in pretty good shape then after that. One more pass. And then the next step is going to be cleaning up those rooms very well, making sure I get all the dust and everything off of the floor. And then put down the mineral spirits, kind of cleaning up the floor with the mineral spirits, make sure we get every little piece of residue off of there so that when we're ready to stain, it's not going to create a grainy look and cause a lot of bumps in the flooring. So that's the next step, is to mineral then stain, which I'm really excited about. I can't wait to see the color of the floor. I'm nervous as well. There's a lot of floor space. There's a lot that needs to be done. I don't have a lot of time to be doing a lot of tests to see, does it work in this spot? Does it not work in that spot? So I'm really nervous about that, but I'm also excited at the same time to see the finished product. And once we get the stain down, it'll be a couple of hours, about 6 hours. I'll be able to put a second coat on if I don't like the color, if it's not dark enough. And then after that, I'll let it dry overnight, more than 12 hours. Then we start the polypropylene process, or polyurethane, not polypropylene. That's a plastic, I think, used to make bowling balls. And all right, so it looked like I was being buffered a little bit with this live video. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I'll wrap it up. I'll start throwing on some nice audio books so I can enjoy the rest of this trip. Like I said, you get opportunity to educate yourself, whether it's driving in the car, sitting around home, maybe when I'm working, probably not sanding, but when I'm working and I'm doing something that I don't necessarily have to be present with doing, like sanding, I have to be present with. I could throw an audiobook on or listen to some kind of motivational messaging on YouTube or any other resource, really. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff out there. So take advantage of every second you have, and the results will come. It takes time. It's like I said, creating a journey. You're creating a life. It's a lifelong process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Enjoy the ride. It's not a destination. Don't think don't think that once you get there, everything's going to be good, because there is no getting there. There's always something. There's always more. There's always steps in it. And what I mean by always more is that there's always you're always on the journey. That's what I mean. Until unfortunately we all die. But basically, you're on a journey. The end is the end. The end is death. So don't look at the journey as getting to an end. Nobody wants to get to the end. Whatever your journey is, maybe you're happy with whatever your revenue is, whatever your goal is. The goal is not the journey. The journey is life, I suppose. And the journey for me is part of my journey in my life, is part of my entrepreneurial journey. And I feel like my entrepreneurial journey doesn't have an end. It doesn't really have a goal other than to be successful and be able to sustain a lifestyle that I would like to achieve. So in terms of goals and things like that, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But the actual journey itself is a lifelong commitment, a lifelong process. So anyway, enjoy your Saturday. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully you're out doing something productive. Let me know what you think about this video, about my advice. If there's any other questions you might have, any thoughts or things that you have for me that you'd like to share, I'd be really happy to hear about it. And I'd be happy to weigh in. I'd be happy to provide input. This is all about creating an entrepreneurial community. And, welcome along for the ride. And thanks for watching. And thanks for joining me for my Saturday morning hustle journey. We'll talk to you all soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.